want to make a video about the release pattern. This is something that I've been noticing for a while, and I did some experiments to try and understand it better. So I've noticed that I have a bunch of friends, and I see a lot of golfers at the range, and they have this release pattern that I call a softball pattern. And the reason why I say that is I think it looks like a softball pitcher. So basically the release pattern is this. I think some of you might even have this, is you go to the top and then you come down and then your hips fire, and then you see, basically you can really tell because there's this gap right here. You can see through the space, and then you flip. Wait, it's usually an early extension, the gap, and you flip through impact, and then you push through, and then once you're right here it looks really good, and then you finish really beautifully. So it basically looks like this: early extension, push through. And I tried doing this for fun, just to see if I could do it. So I'll show you the video. And then I tried to compare that with how my swing feels like and how most pros swings, at least I believe, their release, which is more like this. So you'll never see this gap. It'll always be in like this. And what I found is, if your swing does look like this, your release pattern, or the way you even think about it, or how the whole golf swing feels, is completely different from how it should be. Just because I've done both now. I tried, and I had a hard time actually doing this at first. It was really hard. It took me a good 15-20 minutes of really concentrating with deep practice just to try and break those, try and do the early release and casting. And it was hard, just because I'm so used to doing the exact opposite. So if this is your swing, you believe me, you've got your thinking and the feeling of your golf swing is completely wrong compared to the pros. Whereas a baseball pitcher, they're really driving with their elbow. So their elbow goes through first, and then they release afterwards. So on the softball release, what I feel like I'm doing here is, at the very top, I'm driving with this right hand, and my whole conception of the release is push through like that. So I get to the top, and I'm using this elbow right here as leverage to just go boom. And so that's why you see this external rotation out here, and then this push, massive push through, which generates a lot of power, a lot of speed, And my friends who do this, I mean, most of them are basically scratch. But what I've seen by filming them in high speed is their club face, it rotates through, like through impact. It's like really fast because their club face stays open, and then they flip through right at impact. So they hit far, but usually they spray it. Now with the baseball release, the feeling is completely different. There's none of this pushing. The baseball release is really soft hands in the beginning. It's soft, 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 and more about like how a baseball player throws is with his shoulder. I mean, you can see them pushing through with the shoulder and letting the elbow and the arm really lag back, and then pushing it through like that. So instead of pushing from the top, it's pushing through with the shoulder, and then at the very end maybe whipping through and pushing through with the wrists and the forearm. So that for me is a big difference between a softball release and a baseball release. So if you can film your swing, see what kind of release you have, and if you have the softball release, then just know that the way you're thinking about releasing a club is completely different from how most pro players release the club. I hope this video helped, and maybe thinking about your swing this way can help you change it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it below. Thanks.